Welcome all. Today we are CEOs dreaming of running a successful business as we take a look at Ground Floor. And this game sees us hiring, firing, marketing, maybe producing, selling, constructing, and a host of other business activities as we try to outsmart our competitors in this ever-changing economic environment. Now, this one is heavy complexity, plays 2 to 6, and it says 90 to 150 minutes, which is optimistic with a higher player count, but achievable with 2 to 3 players from my games. And we've got the designer and the publisher there as well. Now, to note, this is the first edition version. Here we go. Let's take a closer look then. Today's run through is just myself as usual. I've got a 2-player setup. So these are our ground floors. We started off with this publishing advertising specialist. We've got the retail storage specialist, which gives you a slightly different start to your board. We've got the main board here with all these skyscrapers, and this is where we will be scheduling and conducting our business. Now, your actual player board's got a really good sort of turn to turn as to what you should be doing. And I've set up here, we've got the economy. I've kind of used the recommended setup in the rules. We've got stable to start off with, and then we're moving into stable. So if you want a bit of variety from game to game, you can bring in the depression cards as well, which don't exist in this particular set. You can give them a shuffle. As long as you don't get a recession or depression on the first card, you can crack on. We've got the markers here, so we've got 9 rounds. The game will end after 9 rounds, or if a player has built their 5th floor. So there'll be 7 floors in total, including this ground floor and this speciality tile. So that's the rounds you're playing. These sort of 3 sections as well, which bring in extra floors and extra, what have we got? We've got these tenant improvements, which are just out of camera view, but I'll show you them. We've got the job market here, so that's going to fluctuate and get more expensive as you pay, or even cheaper as you pay information and money. And I've got a load of money and information on the side as well. And popularity, how popular you are and attractive your products are, or how you want to hire people first. And then we'll kind of go through this board and what all these actions are. So the first thing we are doing then is receiving income. Now, yellows have been randomly determined first, and based on where their CEO is, so at the side, this game is all about time. So your CEO starts with 4 time markers, and next to it is how much income you will get, which is going to be 9. So we will take $9, and we start with 7 information, and that's these little sort of files. So we have done our income. These guys exactly the same. They got 9 here. I don't drop all these time tokens everywhere. So yeah, that's how you're going to get your money. Now you can see that as you hire more people, which is next, your income goes down. And actually, if you get to the top, you actually pay more money. And you want to hire people because that's how you get more time. You're delegating your tasks and you're getting other people to do things for you. So first round, yeah, we've received income. Next thing we do is hire employees. Now the current cost to begin with is 5 information and 5 money. Starting with the most attractive company, which is yellow. They're on top here. So they are currently looking here and they're going, right, yep, I'm going to pay 5 information, boom, that goes to the supply, and 5 money. The job market goes to the right, which is still 5 and 5. And in this 2-player game, yep, if it's a 3-player game and the second player now bought one, the third player will be paying potentially more. So the red player's up. Well, before that, you've hired someone, so you move your CEO up because you've now got 2 employees, but you're not actually going to get that worker or time markers just yet because you have to train them. You've hired them, and you put this sort of token here to remind you you're not going to replenish those until you have trained, which you can do on your board. So these guys have gone. You then go to the next most attractive player, which is the popularity or attractive business, should I say. So they're going to do it as well. So they're going to go at 1, they're going to pay 5 money and 5 information. We move the job market along and we add 1 of these time tokens here. Now, you can see if there was a third player, it's going to cost them 6 and 6. That is hiring. You can hire again. You go back to yellows. You're like, do you want to hire another one? They haven't got enough information and they haven't got enough money. You go back to reds. Nope, they haven't got enough information. You can keep going round and round and round and hiring more employees. Next thing is scheduling business. So starting with the most attractive company, which is still Yellows. Now, what can they do? They can schedule business on their ground floor. So each player's got these 6 starting spots, which represent this level here. And some of these differs. So based on publishing, they get the advertising specialist, which allows them to do something slightly more than the main board. So you can see normally you could only send one of your time to one token to networking, whereas now they have the choice to do one to networking, or they could send 2 time tokens to go and put 1 token on the print. So slight asymmetrical start. Now, these guys can hold 2 goods in their storage closet, whereas these guys can only hold 1. And you start with a cube as well. So you can go to these locations. These act immediately, and you can go to them as many times as you want. So you could use the assembly point and then use it again, as long as you have the time markers to do so, and you have to pay the full requirements. So if we want to go here, we have to pay 1. If we want to go here, we have to pay 2. You can also schedule your business on the board. So if we go to the consultant firm, we put a token on the top here, number 1. It's going to cost us 6 money. I'll go through what these do in a minute. We could go here, advertising. Now, actually, I'll give you an example of what each one is. So Yellows at first, we are going to demonstrate assembly. So we send 3, we don't want to do assembly actually, because, well, we can. Now, I'm not playing best strategy here, and we're going to go assembly. So we spend our free time, we get a cube. So we take that, and we pop it, we have storage capacity, boom, that is done. Over to the next player. So we're not going to do assembly because they've only got the capacity for 1 good, and, well, they don't want a second one. Now, that's really great assembly, because the only way ever to get goods at the moment is to go to the warehouse. So you go to this number 1 spot, you pay 2 money or 1 information to get this cube. So let's demonstrate training, and these guys are going to spend 2 time. So their CEO's taking half of his time here to train and employ, which means if you've got one of these tokens, you just take it off, which means now we can replenish this at the end of the round. Back to Yellows. Now, if it was a free player game, it would be determined off popularity. So in this case, Yellow went first. Let's just say, it was like this, and there was a blue token here. It'd be Yellow first, then it'd be red, and then it would be blue. So it's, it's not clockwise round the board. So you have to keep an eye on the order of play. Back to Yellows then. We've got 1 token left. Let's go to the board. So if we went to the consultancy firm, we'd go there and we pay 6 money straight away, which we haven't got. Now, consulting firm is all about having meetings, and essentially you get information. So it's a delayed gratification. You put it there now, you pay your money, and at the end you're going to move it over in conducting business phase. And if someone else on a future turn, let's just say they come here, on the next round, this one's going to go to the left and bump this one off, which means they get that 10 information. But if it was a case where, these 2 were here, red came along, bumped this one off, there's no one to bump this red token, so they're not going to get the information. You can see as you go further down, it gets cheaper, but it's a risk as to whether, there's enough players to go and put their tokens there. So we're not going to go an extra, can't afford it. If we go to the advertising agencies, it's about marketing and getting more popularity, so you can have first dibs on hiring and maybe marketing bonuses and getting that first to market. So you're going to pay 1 money and 1 information just to place a token here. And you go from 1 to 6. Now, interestingly, when you actually come to conduct business, you're going to go in reverse order. So you get the sort of the last chance saloon to put it where you want it, to maybe oust, well, not oust, but to get an area that maybe is not being developed. So if we go to network, we'll put it here for now. So we put 1 there and we pay 1 money and 1 information, which I'm going to do. So that was Yellow, wasn't it? So we can afford that. So we've paid that. Over to the red player then, and they're thinking, okay, I've got 2 here, maybe I want to go, well, the marketing bonus only comes to play in the conducting business phase, and it's up to you. There's a variant in the 2-player game, whether you want to use it, depending on who's the most popular player, but typically you don't use this in a 2-player game. Do they want to go to the warehouse? No, because they've already got maximum capacity. Do we going to go to the factory? And this is where you're going to have a chance. You're going to pay 2 money, 2 information, and 1 of these cubes to have a chance of moving your product you've created to the retail outlets. And this is how you can attain money. Now, at the moment, there's a lot to process here. The economic forecast is stable. Now, we can't turn it over yet. It's a bit of a luck aspect as to how many consumers are going to be under here. So in a two-player game, it's telling us there's between 1 and 3 consumers. And that's important because if two or three players go here and there's only one product, you're all fighting over one product. But if one of you goes there, you're guaranteed to sell your product because there's definitely going to be one, maximum of 3. So that's a stable market, and these differ. So you can see you get to a recession in a two-player game, there's potentially 0 or maybe 1. So that's the maximum products. So are we going to go there then? Yes, we're going to go here. We're going to spend 2 information, 2 money, and we're going to get rid of this cube. And we now are able to put this token here. Back to yellows then. They are, do they want to go construction company? They can't afford it. You need 4 money and 4 information just to place a token here. And then there's further costs when you actually conduct your business. But here, you can say if you had put one there, you could pay 1 money and 1 information to put one of these tenant improvements out, which are great human resources. You can hire people at a discount. You've got networking where you get more information, and an internship program where you get more time. So these can be placed either on an empty ground floor. Some of them, well, for example, this one here, you can put one on this empty space, which is great. Or you can put it and replace one of these ground floors. You still get the points at the end of the game if you've remodeled. So you can see there's some victory points on there. So they can go on there as well. But you have to go and actually put a construction token. It's quite pricey, but very much needed. Or you could build a floor. And in this case, it's going to cost you 2 money and 2 information, and then 2 money and 2 information for each floor, including this ground floor. It's never this speciality tile. That's just kind of, there for style for your top of your roof, shall we call it. Now these level 1s and level 2s will come out when you reach this section, and level 3s will come out here. So there's a host of other goodies. You've got in-house factories where you can place these time and a token to be able to place one of your tokens here rather than paying that money. IT department, you're going to get 4 information each round. Assembly line, you literally put 1 time marker on there and you are getting a good. So loads of good stuff there. And then there's level 3s as well, and there's level 2s and 3s of the tenant improvements. So where did we go for, well, yellow, red went here. I think it was red. Yellow's actually got no time. So it's back to red. We've got 1 more. Let's go. So we can't afford assembly, maybe a meeting room. So we spend 1 time and we literally just get 1 information. Now while we're here, research and testing, you spend a cube and a time and you get 3 information. These guys can go here and spend 1 time marker to put a token on the networking. And they could go 2 time to put 1 on the print, and I'll show you the importance of that in a minute. So everyone has scheduled your business. You now go to conduct. So these are kind of already done. You go from left to right, so you've got A all the way through to H. So no one went to consultant firm. That is done. If they had you'd have moved the tokens to the side. If there were tokens here and they were bumped off, those players would now get that information. Advertising agencies, starting from reverse order, so 6, obviously no one's here, it's only yellow. So they are going to place it in one of these 3 advertising agencies. Now, if they go for networking, you're going to place it here and you're going to add from your supply another token. So you've got 2 there, but you need 3 tokens here to be able to move up 1 popularity. If they go to print, you are going to pay an additional 1 money and 1 information, and you also need 2 tokens there to be able to go to 1 popularity. So not quite enough to go there. If they go to broadcast, you only need 1 token, but you're going to have to pay 2 money and 2 information. Now these are yellows, and frustratingly, they've only got 1 information. So maybe they're going to go here and they're going to gain another token, and they're just going to leave it there for now. Now, hopefully on the next round, I'll probably do 1 more round. I'll give you an idea of how this works and how you can actually get majority to go up an additional popularity and how that's all figured out. So marketing bonus then. So as I say, in a two-player game, you don't typically use this, but there's a variant where you can say, right, whoever is, I think it's popularity, or maybe it's to do with advertising agency, but I think it's popularity. So let's just say yellow's like, no, I don't want to do it. We won't activate this because maybe they're behind, or I don't know, they don't want their opponent to get something. But if you did, in a 3, 4, 5, 6 player game, you're gonna, whoever's the most popular, so yellow, is gonna take one of these, and they're gonna get exactly what it says. You get to remodel for 1 for 1. The remodel you can do any time on your go, but it usually costs you free money and free information. But this is letting you do it for 1-on-1. Get a cube, get 2 money, get 2 info, and get a temporary time token for the next round. But the swizz here is that the player who's the least popular will not get to participate here. So you can see there's sort of 5 spots. Okay, the warehouse then. No one actually went there, so no one's getting any of those products. Someone did go to Schedule Factory, which is E. So this means they get to place this token anywhere on one of these retail outlets. Now, what's all this about? So you start off with liquidation at the bottom, and then you've got these 3 rows. Now, in this row, you can see the price is 8 and 6, and you've got 12 and 10, 16. So why are you going to go where? Now, you can see in this stable economy, there's going to be minimum of 1 product that needs selling. There's one consumer who wants a product, a maximum of 3. Now, it says at the bottom, consumers will buy the most popular product in the lowest price category. So if I just pinch a yellow token, so say these 2 were here, you conduct it from 1 to 12, so the red would have to go first in 1, and they're like, I don't know where the yellows are going to go, and there's only potentially a minimum of 1 consumer. So if I go too high price and the yellow goes here, and there's only 1 consumer, they're going to go to the cheapest bracket first, and this player's going to sell the product to that consumer for $8. The red player then, there's no product left that the consumers want. So they're stuck there. Well, they actually go down 1, but I won't confuse you just yet. So it's a deliberation game as to where you're going to go. Now, at the moment, there's only red players who are in the factory who are going to go to the real. So they're going to go for the highest price because they are guaranteed, based on this stable market, they're going to have a consumer who wants one product. So we've done this E, we're over to economic forecast. So we turn the current one, you've got future ones there which will come into play, and we can see in a 2-player game, there's 2 consumers. So those 2 consumers want the most popular product in the lowest price category. So there's no one here, no one here. So this is the lowest price. Red has got it. They've got $16, which is massive, which is why you don't want to allow your opponents to go there on their own whilst there's guaranteed to be 1. So that just goes there for now because we've got to do the unemployed, and they have sold that product. Now, let's just say 1 consumer came out and yellows were here and reds were there. The yellows would have sold it because they're in the lowest price bracket. If 2 players were in the same area, it goes on popularity. So yellow would actually sell first in this row at 12, even though red is cheaper. So that's why these categories and rows are important, and your popularity. Okay, and if let's say here red did sell and yellow didn't, you have to drop the price of unsold products. So, they didn't sell, but they have to come somewhere of their choice into the next bracket. If they're already in here, they have to go to liquidation, and they'll get rid of the token and they get free money rather than potentially selling a good on future rounds. Okay. Construction company. No one's here, but if they were, you'd pay, you've already paid your 4 and 4 to go there. They just get a choice. So they're going to build one of these for 1 for 1, or they're going to build one of these floors, and that's how you're going to trigger the game end unless you get to 9 rounds. We have conducted our business. Now, reorganize starts with, says it all on your board, downsizing, which is optional. So let's say, you're all the way up here and you're like, you know what, I'm sick of paying all these costs or not getting enough money. And you're like, right, I'm downsizing. So you basically move your CEO, and that means you're not going to fill up with as much time because you haven't got as many staff. So no one's going to downsize just yet. We're then going to, where are we? We're going to reset the time markers. So that means we basically fill up. We take all our markers and we're going to refill. So these guys, frustratingly, have not trained up that new employee. So they're only getting 4 time markers for their CEO. These guys are getting 4 And they're getting now an additional 3 because they hired and they trained that employee. So they got more time to distribute. You empty these off your ground floor. We sold that one. We leave these here in networking, and that is the reset time markers. We now update the board. So if one of these goods had been, well, 2 of these goods have been sold, you literally just update it with 1 more good on the highest price available. So it would be there. So you just update 1. If they're all gone, literally you're still only updating 1. So that's what you have to do if they are sold. Next, we adjust popularity. So popularity will always go down 1. So, you know, if yellows are tried hard to get popular, it's going to go down 1 for all players. So if they're both here, they go down 1 each. And it starts with the player who's least popular. So you're not going to sort of jump someone. So say it was here, red would go back and then yellow. So you just move the whole stack. So no one's gone back because no one's even bothered trying to get popular yet. You then assess the job market. So this card tells us, 2-player game, there's unemployment of 1, which means your budget there, 1 spot. We then get rid of this one and we bring over the top card so we can now see we've got a stable market with potentially 1 to 3 consumers coming here. And then on the future market, we know there's a recession coming with between 0 and 1 consumers. So we want to sell those goods in the next round if we can. And that is it. We have reset. We start again. Most popular player is yellows. They are kicking off and we're getting income. So they are now getting 6 income even though they haven't trained that employee. So we get $6. These guys are getting $6 as well. We hire employees starting with yellow. So yellow is, are they going to pay 5 and 5? No, they haven't even trained these guys yet. These guys haven't got information, so no one is hiring. Schedule business end, starting with yellows. We've only got 4 time markers. We're going to have to send 2 here to train that one up. So we've done that, we shift that, but we're not getting those time markers till the next round. Over to reds then. Oh, they're feeling good here. They've got 7 markers. Now, what haven't we shown you? So we're going to go, we've got loads of money now. We're going to spend 1 here and we're going to pay $6 for that. We really need information. Over to yellows. They've got 2 markers. We're going to go to this advertising spot, which tells us we can put 1 token on the networking. So we put 1 there. We've now hit 3, and I'll show you the importance of that in a minute. Reds are, what do they need to do? So we've kind of showed you this. They could do, well, they definitely need a good. So maybe they could go here and spend 3 time to get a good, or they could come here and pay 2 money or 1 information. Well, that's cheap, isn't it? So let's go here. And we're going to actually spend money because we're quite plush for money because we sold that good there. Okay. Over to yellows then. And yellows have got 1 more marker. They really need to get to market. But they haven't got enough information. So they need to come here to get 2 money, 2 information in a cube. But they haven't got the information. Maybe the advertisement was a mistake. Yes. Right. We're gonna backtrack. I don't even think. Yeah, we're gonna backtrack then. So rather than go there, they would have gone to the meeting room to spend 1 to get 1 information. Boom. Right. Because they're already ahead on popularity, and unless reds go there, which they might do in a minute, we've now attained that information, and as their last go, they're going to come to schedule business, which is an absolute must. They need the money, and they're going to spend the 2 money, the 2 information, which have now attained, and the cube, and they have gone to the factory. It's a lot to think about when there's only me with 2 players. But again, this is not the best strategy. I'm just sort of demonstrating all the areas. So, red, yellow are out of time markers. Red have got loads. So what are they going to do then? Red are, well, they need a good because they want to come here. And they're going to get a good before they go there. But you need to do this one first. Actually, I'm trying to think. Conduct business. Yeah, we haven't actually conducted business yet, so we can't get the cube just yet. So we're gonna go. How else can we get a cube? Oh, we're gonna spend 3 cubes to get a 3 time to get a cube. Done, and that goes in our closet. Then it's them again. Maybe they're gonna go and schedule business. Pay this one information. Oh, actually, yeah, we can do that because I didn't go. Oh, I want to go here, don't I? I've got a good. Oh, tough, right. So we've got a good, but we want to come here and we're going to need 2 money. That's fine. We're plush for money. We need two information. We've already got one. How can we do that? We're going to go to the meeting room. There's a lot of meetings today. We're going to get some information. And that's why you want to get this consultant firm, because you get 10 information. I'd love to remodel some of these, which you can do any time for a cost of free and free. Because you can see if you go and remodel your assembly, you're paying 2 rather than 3. Your storage closet, we can already see you can hold more. Research and testing, you can send a cube and a token to either get 4 information or 2 money and 2 information. And these are 2 victory points each at the end of the game. You've got meeting room, where you can actually send 2 times to get 3 information rather than this diddly 1 time for 1 information. And training, only 1 time. I would really like some of those. So red, where were we? They have got 1 information. It's them again. They've got to go and schedule business. So they're spending 2 information, a cube, and $2 as well. Okay, they did it. Or potentially there could be 1 consumer. So they're taking a gamble. Okay. We have finished that one conductor business, reorganise then. So we're downsizing, which no one's going to do. We're going to reset the time markers. So these are coming back. And actually, what have I done? I haven't even conducted business. I skipped ahead. Conducting business, right. So we've done all those. I've moved those preemptively. So consulting firm. Boom. We move it over. We don't get it just yet. Schedule business. No one's gone there. These are staying here. Marketing bonus. Yellow players like, yes, go on. I really need to do it. We're using the advanced mod, so they're going to go in. They're going to go and get a temporary worker. So you add one of these to your board just to remind you after. Red, they're going to get 2. They're going to get 2 info. Okay. 2 info. Over to warehouse. These guys, they're getting a cube. Done. They've got storage capacity. Okay, starting of yellows. They're like, I need the money. But red's more, well, I'm more popular. Let's go here for 12. Red's thinking, I'm kind of good for money. And maybe they're just hoping that second consumer's there. So they're going to go for a chance at the 16. No one's gone to construction. Yes, economic forecast, getting ahead of myself. We are now going to reveal this one. It is 3 consumers. They've all done it. So we look at the cheapest bracket. First consumers going here. These guys are getting $12. That's for yellow, isn't it? Okay. Second consumers going here. They're getting 16. Again, they've made it big. Okay, there we are, 16. So we leave that one there. So we've done that. We've done this one. These are gone. If they were still there, they'd come down 1. No one's construction company. We've conducted our business, reorganised, so downsizing, no, reset the time markers. So those are staying there. That one's going. We've cleared these boards. So we're now going to update the boards. We're going to stock the warehouse with just the 1 cube. We're going to adjust our popularity. Both are going down. Assess the job market. Unemployed is 0, so it stays the same. And we get rid of the forecast economy. We're now going into a recession, and there's another recession coming up. There we are. We've done another round. Okay, I'm going to kind of leave it there, but I'm going to demo a few of these that I haven't had a chance to really show you. So what have we got then? Consultancy firm. Now, let's say in the next round, a player came here, you'd scheduled all your business, you'd got around to conducting. This player, boom, 10 information. That's that one. This one here, let's say, let me grab a few tokens. So yellows come here, reds come here, and yellows come here. Reds at first, they're like, okay, I'm going to come in here. Boom, they add another token. Red up again, they're going to come in here. Oh, you'd have had to, there's no cost in networking. Here, we are going to spend 1 money, 1 information, and we place 1 token there. Yellow, they're going to come in here, and additionally going to get another one. Done. Now, you work from, top to bottom. Does it say on here? Play of the most, move right. I can't recall. I think it's top to bottom. So, networking then. They have made free, so they can gain 1 popularity. So, you get rid of those. And, well, I won't get rid of them just yet. you move one up. Now, they are the majority in there. They've got 4 time markers over 2. So they're going to get an additional one. But the player who's been the most popular well, attained popularity because they had the majority, take all of their time markers back. Yeah, Reds remain there. They haven't quite hit it. In this case, the Reds haven't got 2. But let's just say Reds did have 2 here. They would shift these and they'd go up 1 popularity. They're also the most popular there. So they'd go up another 1 as a bonus. Broadcasting, you only need 1 there. So they'd go up 1 if this was the case. And they're the most majority there, so go up another 1. So that's kind of how this works and based on majorities and popularity. Okay, so that's a bit about how you're going to go up here. But it's really frustrating because at the end of each round, you're going down 1. Market bonus, we've kind of explained. Warehouse we've done. Factory we've done. Now let's, I think you're happy with factories, aren't you? Now, if someone was remaining, you just bring it down. Construction, and we haven't really shown you this one. So we're going to go here. And the players paid 4 money and 4 information. So they are going to take, we'll have a chance now to take one of these, an empty floor or a tenant improvement. So they pay 1 and 1. They add this one, right? They're like, okay, I'm done with advertising and put it in there. And this now allows them a benefit. Remember, stage 2, the 2s, and then 3s come out. Or they could take an empty floor, and all you do, let's say this was yellow. Oh, it's yellow, isn't it? You plonk it here, you put that on top. You've now built a floor. And in this case, it comes with a TI, so you take one of your choice here and put it there, and you can always buy another and fit it there or put it on here. And if you put it on here, it's kind of hindering some of your abilities you've got. You'll still get the points if you've remodeled. And you're basically just going to build this skyscraper up with more round to round. And they give you sort of extra things you can do that's so efficient if you manage to do this. And with VPs as well. So you can see this little symbol, 2 VPs, 5 VPs. Some of these remodel ones are 2 VPs. And once a player has built 5 of these, so I'll try and squeeze this one out of you. So you've got what? So at the moment you've built 3. Once you've built 5, that is triggered the game end as well, all the 9 rounds. And you don't include this as an actual floor, so it'd be 3 you've built. So it'd be 7 in total with this. And that is it, folks. You literally play out to either 9 rounds or, as I said, just these 5. And then you're going to add the VPs, which are either from here and from here. And free for every free money and free information, you're going to get a point as well. Wow, hopefully I didn't miss anything there. You've got a specifications board here, which helps you understand what all the tenant improvements can come out, what floors are there. I should add, in a 2-player game and a 3-player game, there's only 1 each of these floors and tenant improvements. So, you know, that sort of varies as the player count changes. Okay, folks, there we are. Ground Floor. If you play this one, there is a 2nd edition as well, which has a lot of differences. I think it has a solo mode as well as an option. So, yeah, 1st edition, give it a go, folks. Enjoy.